Hey guys, it's Bree and I'm back with another video. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome, and you should just go ahead and press like and subscribe down below to be one of my buddies. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing, and we're gonna get right into this video. So as you can see, we're just chilling today. We're just gonna talk about Nclex, okay? In order to get these two letters right here on your badge one day, you have to pass Nclex. And I know a lot of people make it seem like it's a very scary subject, a very scary test, a very difficult test, but it's not. If you prepare correctly, you too can pass Nclex. So I'm just gonna show you guys what I did. I did not feel confident going into Nclex, and I definitely didn't feel confident walking out of Nclex. So I don't want you guys to feel like, oh, I need to feel like I'm a pass before I go in. Like, do not postpone your date. After you graduate, you should be looking at taking your Nclex within a month after you graduate. That's when people say you have the best chance of passing. I took mine exactly a month after I graduated. Well, not exactly, but it was a day off. So I graduated May 18th and I took my Nclex on June 19th. So yeah, I think that's the best way to do it, is within a month. It took us about a week and a half after graduation to get our ATT. And then a lot of people scheduled their Nclex for that first week, the first week of June, which I guess that was the first week that that was really open for us to attempt the Nclex. So a lot of people took it then, and then in the weeks after that as well. So I'm going to show you guys my study plan, and I'm just going to show you what I did, and I hope that it is helpful in some way. I do feel like it is what helped me, just based on how I learn and how I approach tests. So if you follow me on Instagram, which I will have all of my social media stuff linked down below, and I'm gonna try and put it in the video here as well, you know that I do bullet journal, and I had a whole bullet journal spread just for the Nclex. So this was my Nclex-Rn study schedule. Okay, so I guess I'll start on this side. So I wrote all this stuff down the day that I scheduled my Nclex. So yeah, it was the day I got my ATT that I scheduled my Nclex, which was the 29th of May. So it's the day before this calendar kind of starts. So yeah, I wrote down all the dates up until when I took my test, which was the 19th, which is here circled in red. And my school made us do a HERS review. So they made us purchase HERS review, and we did the HERS review at the beginning of our final semester. So whenever we graduated, a lot of us were trying to figure out whether we should go through all the topics, you know, trying to figure out what we were going to do, if we were just going to do the Elevate videos. If you have HERS, you know what I'm talking about. But basically there's longer videos and then there's shorter videos that kind of build on what the longer videos were talking about. So what I ended up doing was I listed out all the topics that were available in HERS, and I gave them all a color code, and I gave them all a checkbox. And as you can see on the schedule here, I kind of I didn't schedule when I was going to do these, but I just kind of marked when I did do them. So as you can see, the first day I went over Burns. I watched the whole Burns video. So I watched the core content Burns video. On some of these where it says CC on there, those were core content videos that I watched. And if it doesn't say CC and it just has the arrow, then that's Elevate. That's my little Elevate symbol. So for cardiac, I didn't watch the core content. I just watched the Elevate video. So some of them, like renal here, you can see it has core content and Elevate. So I did both of them because after watching the core content, I realized that I probably also needed to watch the Elevate. There were some areas where I thought I would do poorly, and some areas where I thought I would do better. So like orthopedics, I didn't feel like was going to be a huge part of my test, so I didn't go over that. Maternity, I reviewed a lot towards the end of the semester for my exit HESI, because that is one of my weak areas. So I just didn't get around to that because I was more worried about like the basic stuff like fluid and electrolytes, acid base, that type of thing. So that's kind of this section over here. As you can see, I only didn't do 2 topics, which is orthopedics and maternity. I kind of spread them out all over the dates that I had. I kind of would do a core content review day and then have a couple of days off, then have a couple core content reviews, a couple of days off. I would just kind of alternate it like that, kind of based on how I was feeling. I didn't do core content every day. That's what I want to stress. I didn't sit down and watch core content videos all day, every day. Oh, and I need to probably point out these percentages. So I started in Hearst doing like the quiz, but I realized that that wasn't working. As you can see, my scores were very low for all of these. I was trying to do that to see kind of where my knowledge was on each of them, but yeah, that didn't really work. So I stopped doing that right around Burns. And that's when I was just kind of like, okay, I'll start with Burns because I got a 20% on that quiz. So there's that. On this side of the page, I have a few things. So up top, I wrote out that that same schedule that's over here again, just with a bigger space so that I can write the amount of questions I do per day. I'll go into that a little bit more in a second. Here, I wrote down when I reviewed content, which is kind of basically the same thing as this, but I just wanted to have another visual of that. And also because reviewing content didn't just mean Hearst. Reviewing content could be a lot of different things for me. These were strictly for Hearst videos, but if I just went over like the Hearst pages, then I would mark it over here still. Down here, I put my hours spent studying just because I wanted to keep track of just making sure that I'm putting enough effort and enough time into my studying per day. So as you can see, I kind of averaged around 2.5, 3 hours. Most days I was doing a whole lot more than that. This plus over here, most times that was around 7, 8 hours on those days. But some of the days I did only do like 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. So there's that. But let's go back up here to the questions. So this first day on the 29th, I did 85 questions, but they were not UWorld questions. I did Hearst review questions, and I looked up questions online, and that's what I did my 85 questions from. On the 30th, I purchased UWorld because I was getting very scared. I didn't know how much of Hearst I was going to actually do and get done. So I was like, I need to make sure that I'm getting this review as well as learning how to answer these questions. And I heard that UWorld was very good for their rationales, and I knew that that would be a good way for me to learn. So that's why I went ahead and bought UWorld on the 30th. So all the rest of the questions are the amount of questions I did per day. I wanted to get through the entire test bank, which is, I think, 2,100 questions. And I think I split that up over how many days I had. Yeah, I had exactly 21 days. So if I did 100 per day, I would be great. I would have gotten all of them done. But as you can see, I didn't do 100 per day. I actually fell off the second day and I only did 50. So then I was trying to catch up. I did 125 here, but then I fell off again. So as you can tell, I did not end up getting all the questions done. So yeah, I didn't end up getting all the questions done, but I do feel like UWorld was one of the most helpful factors in my studying. That's what I focused on the most. That's what most of this study time was spent on, doing these questions and reading rationales and really going through that. I used Hearst and I used UWorld, and I spent an average of about 3 hours, 3.5 hours per day studying. If you want to know any more information about my NCLEX study routine or schedule or how I figured things out, you can message me down below. Okay guys, so as I was recording this video, I realized that I didn't put in my percentile that I made on UWorld. As you can see, I was in the 58th percentile. This was a screenshot I took right before I tested, and I had 56% correct. And as you can see, I had about 200, 300 questions left to go on UWorld right before I tested. Yeah, I used Hearst in UWorld, and I passed. As you can see here, I had 75 questions. This is my actual test. I put 75 because I did 75 questions that day on the test. I didn't do any UWorld questions that day. So yeah, I just made sure that I wrote down how many questions I had. I had exactly 75 questions. I passed my first time on Nclex, and I would highly recommend UWorld. I don't know how helpful Hearst was, even though I did use Hearst and I did go through Hearst. I don't know how helpful that was. I feel like most of my testing skills and critical thinking came from doing UWorld questions. So yeah guys, I hope this video was helpful for you in some way, especially for those of you guys that are taking NCLEX sometime soon. I once again would recommend UWorld highly. I only did the 30-day subscription. I didn't worry about getting the 60 or 90-day just because of the assessment. I thought about it, but I didn't really use UWorld as an assessment tool. I used it as a review tool, and like to help me gain the thought process of like critically thinking and, you know, just getting in the habit of answering questions and knowing what they're looking for in my answer. So that's what I used UWorld for, not necessarily for the assessment. So I only did the 30-day, which was about $120. Like I said, we did Hearst review at our school, and I think that was around $300, if I'm correct. It was either $250, $300 because we had a school discount, like group code. So yeah, they came and did the live review, and then once you do the live review with Hearst, they offer you multiple live reviews after that, so you can go to other cities at different times and, you know, reschedule live reviews and at no cost to you. So that was really cool feature. It just didn't work out for me personally because after graduation there were no other classes going on, so I didn't get to do the Hearst review twice. They do offer, I don't know if it's a money back guarantee or if you don't pass they'll extend your trial. It's one or the other, so that's also a really good deal. I don't think UWorld does that, so that's a good option for you. But those are the two that I had experience with, so those are the two that I'm reviewing. I really enjoyed both of them. I just feel like UWorld helped me out a little bit more with the critical thinking part of things. So if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and press the like button down below. Go ahead and subscribe. Once again, we're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. And once we do that, I will be doing a giveaway for you guys. Let me know in the comments what you are. If you're a nursing student, like just a brand new nursing student, or if you're like a advanced nursing student, if you're a nurse. I'm trying to see if I can work with some cool brands to be able to give you guys some things that you can use. So yeah, let me know down below what you guys would like. And I think that's it for this video. Hopefully I answered you guys' questions. If you have any more questions, go ahead and leave them down below. My NCLEX experience, if you want to watch that video, I will have it linked at the beginning of this and probably around now. My two videos, my NCLEX results and my NCLEX experience. So you guys should go watch those. But yeah, thank you guys so much. My mouth is hurting, so I'm gonna go ahead and go. Yeah, be looking forward for a week in my life video, since I did start orientation this week, and that was a video that someone requested. So be looking out for that, and I'll see you guys then.